All right, G. Number 4, man. We got a cycle. Jump back into number 4 for us.
Excuses.
Ooh.
Procrastination
I feel
excuses.
targeted right now.
You feel attacked?
I feel attacked. Personally attacked. Talk to us about excuses,
Yeah,
man.
just excuses. Oftentimes, we have so many reasons why we should hold off, why we shouldn't start, why. I mean, all of the whys. I mean, I think we need to turn that around and why we should be doing things. And I think that, look, an average thinker thinks what, how, why.
Uh-huh.
An above average thinker always thinks why, how, what.
Say that
So
one more time.
an average thinker thinks what, how, and why, right? And it's the what, like, oh man, this is what I have to do, and you're trying to figure out how you have to do it, and so that kind of stops you. And then the why you have to do it is last. It's not even in the mix. It's just kind of like sitting back there like a hangnail, like like if you fell off a cliff and your pinky toe was hanging off your foot, it's just kind of like it's off there like that. But an above average thinker, it's why, how, and what is last. Like what I have to do is like it's not even in the conversation when I can assess why I have to do it. Okay, think about this, right? We're talking about health, right? I'm not targeting you. I'm not attacking you. We're just talking about health.
I feel attacked though. But go ahead though.
So, we're talking about health. If you God forbid, all of a sudden had a diagnosis, right?
Yeah.
And all this time you knew you had to work out, you knew that you had to do better with your, what it is that you're eating, right? And then all of a sudden now, you get a diagnosis that forces you to have to work out.
Yeah.
Right? Before you couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
And you were just kind of like, oh, I don't want to go work out. The what?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the why is way out there. Now you have this diagnosis and you just kind of like, yo, I got to get up because.
This is so good. I'm going to tell you why it's good. Because I think that oftentimes we just assume like the why isn't as powerful as it should be. We let the what be more heavy, have more power than the why. The what is heavier than the why. If I can get past the why, the what is easy.
Oh, it's super easy.
And you said something a while ago. You said we should change the way that we think about what I should find reasons why I should versus reasons why I shouldn't.
That's right.
Right? And this is what I love about G. G will he has these isms where he just changes a little part of it and then it makes the whole thing like it's a shift in thinking. And I think that's really good. Like when you talk about even changing the words of like what, how, why, what, why, how, like when you just flip it, that's a paradigm shift.
That's right.
That's like the shift in thinking.
Yeah.
And so when you are able to make Monday, right? Because we put things off on Monday. I heard a quote that said Monday is the perfect landing places for excuses.
I love that.
And it's a tragedy. It's a shame. It's almost like the Bermuda Triangle of productivity. It's like when all your ideas make it through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they get back around to Monday. It's like where'd they go?
Right.
Where'd they go? And so I think I like the shift in thinking there. The what, the why, and then the how, right? And the what just happens. Or no, it's the why, how,
and then what?
Oh my gosh, that's good. That's good.
Well, look at this process on just the way that the mind works.
Yeah.
Right. Vision. You always lead with vision. Right. Vision is the steering wheel. Vision, vision is the steering wheel of where it is that you're trying to go. And the next step of vision is then goals and then strategies. Right. So you got a vision. And then you set goals that have to be measurable.
Yeah.
And then you have a strategy as to how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about the what yet. It's just a basic principle of life. Like if you know where you're going and the things that you're trying to accomplish with vision, like is far, is long term. We're not talking about anything in between, because if you see the stuff in between, you'll never start, right?
Jeez.
So you're looking at like you're bypassing everything and looking at the back end, and it's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
So to accomplish that, these are the goals that I have to accomplish. And then to each goal, then you put a strategy to those goals.
Let's give like some real hard examples. I know we've been using health and wellness and food and working out. Do you think when people look at the body that they want, they get distracted by the work that it's going to take in order to get there.
Oh, absolutely.
So I can have it. I was talking to Hetty. We have a friend named Hetty, Gregory Coleman. Shout out to Hetty. Hetty said the cool thing about your story is that you get to write it. He was like, it's literally can be whatever you want to be.
I love that.
And I've never thought about like my life being a product of my decisions and my creativity. And so when I think about wanting to have a body, it's like, I want a body like that. I get distracted by the food, by the exercise, by waking up early, by not having other stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't even get a chance to have the body because I let all this other stuff get in the way. But for people that are able to look at the why do I want that instead of the body, I don't know. I'm kind of talking. I'm working it out as I'm talking about it. I'm looking in the corner. There's nothing over there. I'm looking. I'm literally trying to like work it out because I think this is something that I struggle with. Like, it may be Monday for you, but for somebody else, it's something else. We're literally talking about Monday. Monday's just a marker for what's keeping you from being your greatest. But today we're talking about some very practical obstacles that prevent us from getting where we want to be.
I think if we can, that whole mindset. Let me give you another like little mindset.
He's got another one for us, folks.
Right? Yeah. So oftentimes we're looking at the body that we want, but we don't get to the root of what having a body like that brings.
Tell me some root things.
Okay, so let's say for example, you just want to ensure that you are not eating all of this processed food, right? Let's say for example, you just want to be more hydrated. Let's say for example, you are wanting to have more portion control, right? So that's a result of something. We look at people's results and we're like, we want their result.
Yeah.
But we're not willing to go through the processes that they went through. So if we could just look at processes like, okay, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to hydrate myself. I'm not going to eat fast foods. I'm not going to eat junk food. And as a result of that, then you're going to get that.
The body's going. See, this is what I'm talking about.
So if you work out and you're like, you know what, I want to get buff. I want to look like, I don't know, whoever you think is buff, right? and you start, but you don't change your lifestyle and your habits.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to quit.
Yeah, it won't be sustained.
No.
So we're talking about sustainable stuff. This is really good, right? And I think if we can look at Monday instead of next month, I know vision causes us to look at next month, but we'll never arrive at next month if we never look at Monday. I think that's really good. Okay, we got to breeze through this stuff.
So your vision will be accomplished what you do from Monday to Monday. Let's say that.
Ooh, what do you do Monday to Monday?
Yeah.
See? We should have like a producer that's like, like every time he comes up with a one-liner, and we're just going to keep tally marks. G on like number 7 or 8 right now. And it's only one episode. G, take us to number 5, man.
All right, number 5 is procrastination activities. And so, what are some things, man, that we do?
Sleep.
Oh, my gosh.
Sleep. Social media. I just scroll and I scroll and I scroll. Connecting with friends. Yeah. I even use, like, potentially good stuff as procrastination activities.
And you justify it, right? You're like, that's good.
I'm hanging out with my wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm hanging out with my kids. Knowing good and well I am steeped in deep avoidance of that thing that I should be doing. I mask my lack of productivity and procrastination in these good things. Yeah.
You're like, there was this one pastor that he called his hot tub the Word.
I'm in the Word.
So every time he would call, or people would call him, his wife would be like, "Oh, right now, sweetie, he's in his Word."
He back in there with the bubbles.
Yeah. So Steve Harvey, there's things that I hear that then impact me.
Okay.
Like Steve Harvey is just kind of like, I can't sleep in. I live on the West Coast, and if I get up at 8 o'clock on the West Coast, right? The stock exchange opens up at like 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and we're 3 hours behind.
Yeah,
I would have lost 3 hours of the day if I were to wake up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So if the stock exchange opens up at 8, back that up 3 hours. Guess what time I got to get up?
5. Simple
5,
math, yeah.
Right? And that's ready to work. So if I need to get up and do some personal hygiene, 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's saying, and he works out. And so he's like, I got to get up at 3 o'clock, do my workout, 4 o'clock, personal hygiene, 5 o'clock, ready to be a part of the stock exchange.
Yeah. I heard somebody say, I'm not competing with the people who are around me. I'm competing with people around the world. And so, like, I got to get on their time and on their clock.
That's right.
Which is really cool to hear you say that. Mark Wahlberg said the same thing. They posted his schedule, and he had it down to, like, the half-hour mark. And he gets up 3, 4 o'clock every morning because he's like, I got to be up. Like, the rest of the world's up. I'm working out. He's got, like, 2 or 3 workouts in there. He's got, like, meals in there. His family time, playing with the kids, picking people up from school. Like, he's so regimented, right? Because he's like, if I don't do it, then the day will get away from me.
That's right.
So when we think about the activities that people do, I just listed some for me. I told you all, I confessed here on the YouTube channel, on the podcast show, I said I have procrastination activities. Some are just sleep and some are social media, but I actually have some other ones that I claim are good, but I know I'm using them to get away from laundry. I did laundry this morning. You know what I still haven't done? I haven't done my taxes.
Oh, you haven't done. I was gonna say you did. Maybe you didn't fold it.
No. I did all the laundry. The laundry's up, put away. But for me, like, I'm like, if I don't have a clean space, I can't be productive in a not clean space.
Yeah.
And so now I got to get the space clean so that by the time I come back, now I'm trying to work, but I can't because it's pushing to my next meeting that I stacked. We're going back to minute 1 of the episode.
Well, you know what? We're later on is one of the other ones where we experience the negative feelings of the procrastination activities that we are involved in, right?
Is that
because
the next
it
one?
makes it it's two ahead.
Two ahead.
We'll
get there.
But it just gives us. There's a lot of consequences that fall on us when we put one thing. It's steps. These are steps. It's just kind of like when you're grieving. There's steps that you go through of mourning and then anger and then, you know what I mean. So when you procrastinate and you have these activities in place, one affects the other, right? And so there's an accountability that I put on myself. Like in this space of my life, I'm like, discipline is something that I'm really, really enforcing in my life. Like, I don't have to do set things, but I want to do them because I know that they're going to make me better. Wow. Right. So I heard a video that the speaker, it was a keynote speaker, and he said, make your bed every morning. And even if you have a bad day, when you get home, at least your bed is made.
You got one win.
Yeah. And so my wife and I, we made a commitment. Either I'm fixing a bed or she's fixing a bed, but we're making a bed. Another one, Eric Thomas. He said, if your body wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning because you got to use the restroom or whatever, that's your body telling you you got enough rest. When you go lay back down, it's because you're trying to get the bonus round.
Okay.
So when I get up, so when I get up, if I get up at 5 o'clock, 5:30, I sit there, and all of a sudden this conviction hits me like, yo, your body got enough rest. You got to get up.
You got to go.
Yeah.
Now, we're not talking about people that got small bladders.
No.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about...
If you drink too much
water. You don't drink too water. Just go pee and then get back in the bed. He's talking about your body, responding. I think that's good. So let's go to the next one because I know when I fold that laundry, it feels good. But I know when I'm using the laundry as avoidance, sometimes that can be labeled as a short-term win or short-term gratification. Talk to us about that for a little bit.
So that next one is a short-term reward. So, you spend some time with your wife, right? Instead of doing
that's good, right, G?
Right?
Ain't that good?
Right?
Okay.
And you have a short-term reward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, depending on where you go, what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's not what you need to be doing.
Folding laundry's good, G.
It is good.
Spending time with my kids is good.
But you know what?
What if I want to spend time with the Lord?
Well, there's a difference. There's a one-letter difference between a good idea and a God idea.
See what he did there? Ding, ding.
So
number 9.
Priority, right?
Yeah.
Now, people say, I have to get my priorities straight. Plural.
Yeah.
How could priority be plural?
Ooh, you can only have one priority at a time, right?
Yeah, so if you say, I got to get my priorities straight, you're still messing up.
Yeah.
So,
Ding. That's another
what is your priority? Right.
Yeah.
And so there are good things that you're doing, right? It's like Christmas time. Like people break the bank during Christmas time.
Yeah.
And it's good, but is it right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now you have all these cards maxed out and the kids prefer to play with boxes than the stuff in it.
Paper sacks.
Yeah. So I think that taking a look at don't exchange a short reward for something that you could be benefiting from long term.
Yeah, long-term gains.
Right?
Yeah.
I've heard people say you could play now and work later, or you can work now and play later.
Yeah.
All of these things that we've heard over and over and over. They're so true. You know what I'm saying? You could spend now and then have to try to make all this, money later and struggle and have to work through your retirement.
Yeah.
Or you can like do all that you need to do now, and later on you can enjoy a retirement.
That's so good. And I think some of that requires us to be honest with ourselves, right? I got to be honest with myself when I'm dealing in this short-term sight, when I'm dealing in short-term decisions, right? It's like if I can win the moment, then I can win the day. But when I don't make that decision, like the laundry's gonna be there. Like I hate to say, I keep it in context. My wife's gonna be there. My kids are gonna be there.
Yeah.
But I can't use them, right, as this short-term reward or this decision-making process to avoid what I really should be doing.
That's right.
And so I just want to say that out loud. If there's anybody out there that's watching this, I know sometimes we can get those short-term things and they can be masked in goodness, but we know the truth.
That's right.
We know the fact. We know deep inside. I know deep inside. Then I'm like, let me go here and hang out with my wife real quick. We both working from home. What is it, about 11:30? It's lunchtime. Let me go in here and see if she's hungry, knowing I need to get this project done.
That's right.
And I'm in deep avoidance. So I think we got to be honest about those short-term rewards.
So let's go back to what you stated earlier. Sometimes the task is going in there and spending time.
That's true.
With your wife.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that balance is important. And keeping things where they need to be. Sometimes the task is having a good calendar, right? And time blocking.
Yeah.
Women and men's minds they work differently. There's all these boxes in our brains, right? There's a book, I can't remember the name of the book, but it's like we have all these boxes in our brain, right? The house, the marriage, the kids, the laundry, the work, all of that stuff. Well, men's boxes, none of them touch, and you only have one box open at a time. Women, the boxes, they're all open at the same time, and they're all touching. So they could be like, this, and the kids, and blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, we have to get to a place where we said, okay, let's close all the boxes and open up a box and know when that box needs to be open, and being a good steward of it. Otherwise, it's just, we chase short rewards. We chase them. We're like short reward junkies.
Just a quick hit.
Yeah,
dopamine, that notification.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. We probably had like a 40-minute episode right now. I know we're talking, man. It is Monday, and I know y'all got stuff y'all need to be doing besides listening to G and the Derek. So we want to push on through. So I want to recap real quickly before G takes us to this last point, which I think is a very important point, because I think it's the deciding factor that either pushes us into the cycle again or it serves as an off-ramp to productivity.
That's right.
So we talked about number one, which is task. Right? You got to, in order to procrastinate, you got to have something you're procrastinating on. And that's when we identify that task. What's the thing that I'm supposed to be doing that either I'm not doing or I'm talking to myself? That's the thing. First is task. Number two is we talk about these assumptions that we make about it. We build it up in our minds. Number three is perceived discomfort, build it up in our mind. We made this story about it. It's going to suck. It's going to be hard. And so we build it up. Number four, we're talking about all the excuses that we make to not do it. Number five, we have these procrastination activities. Number six, we talk about these short-term rewards. G, take us back into the cycle. At this pivotal point right now, on our last point, we can either go back into the cycle of procrastination or we can off-ramp to productivity. What's number seven?
Okay, so number seven is the long-term negative consequence.
Oh, man.
So, it's kind of like, you probably maybe got laid off, you lost your job, you're in the emotion of all of that stuff. You need to be applying and looking and researching and dusting off your resume. And the last time you took a headshot, you had hair on your head and you didn't have gray in your beard.
Yeah.
And so we get to a place now where we can be putting stuff off. Putting stuff off can lead you down a slippery slope, a very negative place. Let's say, for example, you've been in a relationship and you're taking a really long time and you have commitment issues and you're just kind of holding off and the task and all the things that you've been doing to just kind of try to make it stable, but you've been putting it off so long that now it's kind of like fruit on a tree. It's just rotting because it sat there too long, right?
Wow.
There's all types of negative emotions, negative feelings, negative things that come as a result of procrastination. Maybe that project, you put it off so long, and now you're in a rush.
All facts.
Right?
Yeah.
And let's say you got to speak on Friday, and you waited till Thursday, and you're going to be gone a week from your family, and now your family gets cheated because the day before you leave, now you're trying to prepare, and so everything gets off balance and off kilter when procrastination is in a mix.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of then you blame yourself.
Yeah.
Then you're going into things with just kind of like this anxiousness, and it's a negative thing to have to navigate through that impacts you even after the situation has come and gone.
That's so good, man.
Yeah.
And I think if we don't address it, if we don't look at Monday and figure out what the problem is, then we're going to go into another week and repeat the same cycle.
That's right.
Right? Tuesday will come, and then we'll build up some excuse about why we didn't do the thing on Monday, and then we're making these assumptions about everything that's going to take in order to get it done, and then we'll get distracted, and then we'll find something that gives us a short-term gain that makes us feel good about not doing the thing that we're going to do, and then here comes Monday again, here comes that task again, and I get the opportunity to look at the task every single week. I get a chance to look, I get to pick it up, and I either get to choose to dominate it and do it, or I'm like, oh man, this is heavy. Yeah. And I go back into the cycle. I make excuses. I build it up in my mind. I avoid it. I find something else. I set it down. I need to go eat. I haven't eaten today. I can't think on an empty stomach, or I need to go to sleep. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I'll go take a nap and I wake back up and we go through this whole stuff. Yeah. And so I want to say on step number 7 for you all, ironically, 7 days in a week.
Right. So we process that all week long.
All week long. And here comes Sunday night. And we're laying in our bed, and we've done all the fun stuff, and we've avoided all the things, and this task comes back. Monday comes back around again, and we have to decide, are we going to dominate it, and we're going to do it? Are we going to focus on the why, which pushes us into the what? And what are we going to do? Are we going to go back into the cycle again?
That's right.
And I think there are far too many people that opt back into the cycle.
That's right. Well, it's a dysfunctional cycle that we have to break. And a lot of times those cycles are inherited. Sometimes we have to break the cycles that we've learned from family, from parents. We have to break the cycle that oftentimes we allow ourselves to slip into. There's cycles of things that we want to do. We've been talking about health, and we've been talking about marriage, but sometimes that cycle is addiction, right? And then on Monday, we're like, you know what? It's a fresh week. I binged all weekend, and Monday, I'm not doing that anymore, right? But you're in the cycle, and then all of a sudden you realize that that's not feasible, and you process all the way through. There's a cycle of depression. You're like, you know what? Monday, I'm going to open up my blinds, and I'm going to make sure that I don't socially isolate myself. But then Monday rolls around, and that depression is not gone. Yeah. And you're in the bed again, and all week, you're like, you know what? I'll give it a shot next week. Yeah. And now you're stuck again all week long. Yeah. And so this cycle, this cyclic thing, we have to be more linear, right? We have to be more linear than we are cyclic. Otherwise, we fall into the same things. Think about a dysfunctional marriage or a dysfunctional relationship. One says something, the other one is offended. The other one offends because they're offended, and they're angry at each other. And then you forget who even started it, right? It's just cyclic. Somebody has to call timeout. Yeah, call a timeout in your life and just say, I need to break the cycle. I see what's happening, and I have to break it. And don't wait until the thing breaks you before you break it.
Ding! That's another one. And I think that's a great place to stop. Hey, listen, this is the Monday Huddle. We talked about the cycle of procrastination today. Lots of good gems from G. Go back. I didn't have the ding. I didn't start doing the ding until the end of the show, but my man said some really cool stuff. I think we want you all to continue to join the Monday Huddle community. Like, go ahead and like, subscribe, click that button, follow, get notified whenever we post these on Mondays. We want to be in your workout plan. We want to be on your ride to work. We want you to hear our voice in the background while you're setting up your office, while you're making your coffee, making your oatmeal, on the treadmill, hanging out, walking your dog.
Come on.
Whatever you do on Monday, we want to be there with you, encouraging you, and just dropping these little tips along the way.
That's right. Listen, we want to be a part of your journey. Be a part of ours. Let's do this thing.
Let's do it. That's Derek.
I'm G.
This is the Monday Huddle.